So I know I said I was going back to the boat, but apparently I lied. Hope went back to the boat, and I am in a taxi cab right now on my way to do a tour of some of the nearby sites here in Puerto Montt. We are headed out of the city for what I was told would be about a 2-hour tour. I think that's the same amount of hours that Gilligan's tour was supposed to be, and they ended up stuck on a desert island. So hopefully that's not the case here, but I believe we're going to be going up to see one of the volcanoes and maybe one of the Alpine lakes just outside of the city. It's around 12:30 right now, which means that hopefully I will be back by 3 o'clock. A full hour before the last tender leaves for the ship. Otherwise, I will have to catch an airplane and fly to Punta Arenas in order to get back on the boat, which would be a big, big pain in the ass, especially because my passport is on the ship. Chile is definitely a country blessed with natural beauty, as is evident from the scene here across the water. So right there, you can see a tremendous view of the volcano in this really, really amazing little town I'm in called Puerto Varas, which was about a 30-minute drive or so from Puerto Montt. And this is definitely a tourist epicenter. This resembles like Gatlinburg, Tennessee or something like that. And it's right here along the lakeside. You can actually see both of the volcanoes. The other one is off in the distance over there. And can get quite an idea of the landscape around here. This place is jumping. There are a lot of people walking around here, enjoying the area and stuff like that. And I don't have too much time here because we got to get on the road so I can get back in time to not miss the boat. But it gives you an idea. So Puerto Varas is definitely a place to check out. So my driver and I are zipping along through this Chilean alpine landscape. I think perhaps he was a Formula One driver in a past life, or perhaps just a frustrated Formula One driver. But regardless, we are on our way to a village called Fruitillar that is about, I think about 7 or 8 kilometers away from where we are at right now. So my driver has brought me here to another park on the opposite side of this wonderful little beach. And you can see that sign out there in the water, Lago Lanquiju, with an amazing view here of the volcanoes in the distance. Really cool, peaceful little spot here right by the water, which has just an amazing view. Great place for some pictures. I really wish Hope could have come to see this. It's too bad that she's so prone to car sickness, because I think she really would have enjoyed this. It's kind of a shame that she had to stay back at the boat, but that's kind of the way it is. I wanted to walk over this way too. There's some giant swans over here in the water that are parked just offshore. You can see them right back over there. It's really, really cool. This is definitely a community park. There are no tourists around here at all. This is as local as you can get, and really, really a great place for a view and for some photographs of these amazing mountains that sort of surround the area. I am going to go to one other place with the driver before we have to head back to the boat. I really do not want to miss the boat. I'm super paranoid about that. The boat's, the last tender leaves the port around 4 o'clock this afternoon, so I have to make sure that I get back to the boat in time. But this was well worth it coming out here and seeing this, because it really is something else. I can count no less than 7 or 8 of these really tall mountain peaks in the background here. So my driver just dropped me off in this charming little hamlet. It's called Fruitillar or Fruitillar. Not sure exactly how to pronounce it. This interesting building right behind me is a concert hall where a symphony orchestra plays, which is pretty surprising considering the size of this town. This is a small place. I think a lot of people who are watching, or maybe not a lot, but some are familiar with this region of the world's history, in especially post-World War II, when a lot of Nazis came down here and hid out in southern Chile and southern Argentina. And interestingly enough, I feel like in a lot of these places that we've been, including this town here, were you to blindfold me and drop me off here and then ask me where I was, I might actually say Germany or Switzerland or one of those countries, because of the way that the homes and the buildings around here are built, and the landscape itself. It's very similar to some parts of Europe, and the fact that they adopted those building styles in many of the buildings around here. I certainly wouldn't think I was in South America. That would not be the first thing that would come to mind in a place like this if I was blindfolded and simply dropped here and then asked, hey, where are you at? But I'm going to swing the camera around so you can see the view from down here, because it is absolutely amazing. There off in the distance are our ever-present volcanoes, which seem to dominate the landscape around here. The water too here is incredibly clear. I'm not sure that I can get it on camera, but you can see it down here right to the bottom, and it is just crystal clear. There are some sailboats off in the distance as well too. I guess some fairly large ones as well. I saw a couple of big catamarans that are easily ocean-going vessels. And I did notice as well some people from the boat here. They are probably here on some other tours, because there were some buses that were parked up along the road. This area is quite obviously a vacation spot. There are a ton of small sort of mom and pop motels, hotels, and Airbnb type places all along the waterfront road here. The concert hall here is quite impressive as well too. Again, as I said, especially for such a small town in such a remote location, it was probably about a 30 to 45 minute drive just to get over here. And so to have built a place like this out here is pretty impressive. I'm not certain as to how often the orchestra itself plays, but my driver did mention that it was a full orchestra. He said he thought there was about 50 to 60 members. So I bet it's quite something to see when they're out here. And this area that I'm walking on right now, that fronts the waterfront here, is also used as a stage for performances during the summer months as well, he told me. You can see also off in the distance here quite a few people enjoying the beach today. It's a beautiful day. The weather couldn't be more perfect, although I am going to guess that this water is probably pretty cold, because even though it's nice, there is still a bit of a chill to the breeze out here. But there are people in the water swimming around over there, so it might not be that cold. Here's a little bit of a look at what some of the buildings here in the town look like. It's a nice little church right here. Some cafes and restaurants along the main drag, kind of fronting the beach as you drive into town. The name of the town, the pronunciation is escaping me, but it's basically Fruitillar. But I think they're pronouncing it Fruitillar. Fruitillar. I don't know. It's hard for me. Again, my poor grasp of Spanish. I really need to learn Spanish. That's going to be my next big goal, I think, is to pick up Spanish in a conversational mode. An important quick tip to keep in mind: while they do have public bathrooms all around, make sure to keep a little bit of the local currency on hand, because you have to pay to use the public bathrooms. Now, it's not very much, but just remember that, so that you don't run into any sticky situations when it comes time to utilize the facilities. Here's a little bit of the beachfront here in Fruitillar. It's quite a nice little beach, actually. The sand here is an interesting color. It's a dark sand, not quite black, kind of a dark gray color. My guess is that it is some sort of a volcanic sand. But you can see people over here in the water enjoying it. Got a little bit of a pier over here to our left as well. But I got the impression from some of the folks that I saw here that that the water was quite cold. I saw a couple of people go in there and then they were cringing and running out because I think that it was a lot colder than they had imagined that it would be. But there are people all over the place around here. And I have seen, again, more people from the boat. I saw them wandering through some of the shops up above. One thing that has struck me here in Chile is if you do come to this region of the world, English is not that widely spoken here. In fact, I was kind of surprised that, now it may be different in Santiago. We did not get a chance to venture there since it was so far away from the boat. But as a rule, we have run into very few people who even have a basic grasp of English. And of course, I can't speak Spanish and neither can Hope, so we're kind of screwed either way. But it did kind of surprise me because, for instance, in Peru, we ran into quite a few people who spoke English. And I was under the impression, for whatever reason, I don't really know why, but I just figured that we would run into more English speakers in Chile than we did in Peru, and that is not the case. Now, of course, in Peru, we were in Lima, the capital city, where there's a lot more interaction, and here we've been in some of the smaller towns and smaller cities along the coast, so that may be the reason as well, too. But just be prepared, make sure that you have a translator on hand, and something that works without the benefit of the internet, because that is sort of a hit or miss proposition here as well too. When I get back to the United States, I'm going to go find Ryan Reynolds and punch him in the face because Mint Mobile has not been overly reliable down here, including their international pass, which I paid for and worked only sporadically depending on my location. Some places it was working perfectly fine, but it was almost as if I would go one block east or west and suddenly it wasn't working anymore at all. So I'm not sure that I would invest in that. Maybe try something like T-Mobile or Verizon instead, and you'll have better luck overall. This town is going to end up being our last stop on our little tour of the Chilean Alpine region. I have to make sure that I get back in time to make it onto the boat. So we are going to be taking a different route back. We took the scenic route on the way over here, but on the way back we are going to be taking the freeway just to make sure that I am back in time. I got about 2 hours, and he said it was about a 45 to 50 minute drive back to get us back to where we need to be. So hopefully we can get back in time and without a hitch. Until then, don't forget to like, subscribe, and any questions or comments, put them down below. I am the Ugly American, and I will see you next time from Punta Arenas, Chile, in about 2 days.